Today, we as African Americans make up 14% of the total United States population. But yet we make up 40% of the prison system, 49% of all AIDS and HIV related cases, 49% of all high school dropouts, along with the 97th percentile college dropout rate. We as African Americans have been leading the nation in genocide and homicide for years. With 70% of all African American children being born into a single family household, and over half of our African American brothers, fathers, and sons being imprisoned and murdered, there is no wonder to why we see the effects of today. We have been set up to fail, and we need to be saved.
When I look out at my community, what frightens me most is the young men. I want to say the young men because they have a lack of structure. I mean, these young men have gone fatherless, motherless, and their grandparents are getting old and raising them, and they're practically raising themselves.
We have a generation out there that's lost. We have a generation of men as well as women who just are fearless when it comes to the street. They're willing to die for the streets, and the streets isn't offering them anything. Some of them have an education, some of them don't.
When I look out at my community, I see a generation that's lost. A generation that's lost merely because the generation prior to that had been imprisoned. And the generation prior to that had lack of employment. And the generation prior to that was down in the South picking cotton. So again, after generation, I mean, situations on the surface seem to have gotten better, but all the time it's getting worse. The dropout rate, the killings, the slayings, the drug abuse each and every day. Yes, when I look upon my community, I see one that needs help.
I went to the penitentiary at a very young age. I was 16 when I called my case. I was sentenced to 40 years. I did 23 and a half of those years because of more trouble I continued to get into.
I lived like a fast life, lots of money, moved out my mom's house when I was 17, had my own crib, you know what I'm saying? But prior to me selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? I was growing up on Monroe. Brother and them sold drugs around there. I watched as they grew. Everybody had money, cars. I wanted some money and cars too.
You need to stop the killing, stopping little young kids trying to kill other kids and grown-ups and, shooting and hitting drive-bys, all that. I just wish it could stop. I wish I could, when they be walking around saying stop the killing, I wish I could come talk to all young kids, young women, young men, young whatever. I wish I could come and talk to someone to help us.
If any black man out here, especially some black man out here over the age of 20, 25, ain't talking about trying to save black children, you are not talking about nothing, okay? Because black children represent the future of black people.
Some of the problems I see in the community today is that we paying too much attention to the situation and not trying to help with solutions. I see a lot of the kids today, especially in my community where I'm at, in North London, I see that there's not a lot of activities that's going on to help the young people to even be able to identify who they are or to have pastime where they could be doing something productive.
That concerns me. And I believe the young men, if given an alternative rather than an ultimatum, they would choose to do good rather than bad.
I first heard about Saving Our Sons when my husband Reginald was incarcerated.
He was blessed to have a wife. He spent 18 years in jail, and his wife and I was right along beside him.
And it probably was like in 1999, could have been 1998, when he had an encounter with the Lord inside of his cell.
And even in times, he was able to change some of the young men's lifestyle.
And he began to write me, and he began to share with me what the Lord was giving him.
And then the next thing he started telling me about was when he got out, he wanted to start an organization, SOS, Saving Our Sons.
And he asked me, how did I feel about the vision? How did I feel about going forth with him with the vision of saving our sons? And upon his liberation from the IDOC, us getting an organization, a nonprofit organization.
So after he got out of prison, he began to work on this organization, Saving Our Sons, and he has achieved great things. He's done great things for our community and young men, changed their lives and given them hope. And this is what it's all about. We should give our young people hope.
I've made a drastic change in my life. not at 360 degrees, would lead me to back where I started, but 180 degrees. I mean, by the grace of God, I was able to do some introspection while I was in prison and come up with the concept of going back out to help his community rather than hurt it. Seeing our young men going through the trials and tribulations that they have, and my sons be of that age where they can become victims to the system or victim to the streets. Reginald Berry has made a transformation, a metamorphosis of such. And in this regard, I believe that I'm a new man and have a new outlook of life and new hopes and aspirations to share these things with others.
With his spirit alone, just being able to share his experience and to be able to give them good information, because you can't take somebody somewhere where you ain't never been. And I like the idea that he's experienced a lot of things that he can give back to the youth, and they are productive in what they're doing with just getting under his wing.
I am a son that have been saved. After being on Saving Our Sons for a couple years, you know what I'm saying, about 3 years, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I can see my life has really changed, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no telling what I would have been out there doing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no telling what I could have been using my name just to do, because I was somebody out there in these streets.
For you young brothers out there that think that the programs don't work that's provided, trust me, it works, you know. Reginald Berry is a living example, you know. I mean, I've been to the brother home. He has a wonderful home. He has his family involved with it, his young sons involved with it, you know. So I really do encourage you young brothers to look into it. At least give it a chance, you know. Give it a chance, and then you can make up your own mind from there.
I'm just so proud of him now that he have touched the many lives, changed the many lives, and hopefully today and tomorrow and the future will be greater things.
I see Saving Our Sons as a lifeline, a life preserver, so to say, because I've been there and I've done that. And our organization and its staff is filled with volunteers as well as board members who've also had experience in their lives. They've been in various communities. So with this regard, we could put our minds together as a think tank. I mean, having come from the IDOC myself, I recognize that a whole lot of these second chance programs and such things out here are merely superficial. And so what we're trying to do is reach out to the young community and let them know that we really do care. We want to be in the schools to teach them violence interruption and conflict resolution. We want to be out here to get these young men some sort of proper etiquette, allow them to know there is a such thing as mannerism, and that education is the key. So in this regard, we want to lead by example. Not being the person who's recognized as a gang member or gang chieftain with a negative, but one who's recognized as a big brother, as a trailblazer for righteousness.
Saving Our Sons, it stands for something. It represents a lot. That it's not just he's talking about his son, but when he says saving our sons, that our is saying that he's speaking for everybody's son that is lost out here or just needs some guidance to get to the next level. So I just hope that whoever's listening, that when we talk about saving our sons, it's not just your son, but it's somebody else's son. Your son might not be even involved in anything, but it's just the idea that you see somebody else's son struggling, you become a part of that and become a part of Saving Our Sons.
Saving Our Sons need you, the everyday person, the common man. We're asking more men to step up to the plate. When you see these young men on the corners, don't accost them in an angry manner, but speak with them, you understand, with a genuine concern, seeing whether or not we can find out what the underlying problem is and make a genuine attempt to resolve it. Saving Our Sons truly needs your help, financially as well.
Or you can help by volunteering your time and services. Be a mentor today, because there's a youth out there somewhere today that needs you.
Saving Our Sons are here for you, and we hope that you're here for Saving Our Sons. May you be blessed and have a great day.